You don't have a play
Two
tool?
feet. 24 inches. 24 inches, 11 pounds, 3 ounces.
11 pounds when he was born?
11 pounds?
When he
He
was
wasn't
born.
born 11.
Oh.
That's what he is now. Yeah.
Jesus.
I need to be serious. I'm in senator mode.
Support. Yeah.
Yes.
We're distracted.
We all set?
Standing behind him.
Oh,
like
oh
X-Files.
wow. I only have 2 X.
All right, Michael, whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon. My name is Tim Johnson, United States Senator of South Dakota. December 14th, 2012. On that day, 26 people, including 20 children, were shot and killed at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. Since that time, family members of the victims have attempted to cope with unbearable grief. In the wake of this tragedy, many of my colleagues have brought stricter gun control legislation to the table. There is no denying the system needs to be altered, but change should be accomplished intelligently rather than for political gain. Only those who are capable of owning a gun should do so. Unfortunately, it is far too easy for mentally unstable individuals to purchase a gun. Performing stricter background checks on those who should not possess a firearm is a vital first step to curbing violence. I also support limiting magazine clips, for the reduction of ammunition is a common sense approach that reduces the chance of a mass shooting. What I do not endorse is stripping away our Second Amendment rights. We need to ensure guns are owned by people who are properly trained, supervised, and stable enough to use them. Please understand, public safety has and always will be my first priority. However, we can still keep Americans secure and maintain our constitutional rights at the same time. Many are not aware that guns are capable of saving lives rather than ending them. On countless occasions, a burglar has invaded a home looking to inflict harm. Simply the sight of a gun in a person's hand has turned invaders away and made family members more secure on their property. That feeling of protection is priceless, and it is mandatory we preserve it. The events in Newtown will never be forgotten. The all too frequent and recent mass killings in our country should be an impetus for a new approach. A new approach that alters existing laws for the better, while allowing sensible gun owners to keep their freedom. Thank you.
Questions from our audience or comments? Mike, you said you're opposed to high-capacity clips. What's the limit you would put on it?
Good question.
Thank
Yeah. I'd have to refer to my advisors on that one.
Right.
I don't have any further details on that.
Other questions or comments?
I just thought it was a compromise, as opposed to banning automatic weapons. I was sort of vague on that, but I thought we'd limit magazine clips.
But if you were talking to yourself in the audience, I think you in the audience might ask these kind of specific questions.
I would think so.
In regards to reducing the amount of ammunition in the clips, you used the term after that common sense approach. And throughout your speech, you're using the term sensible, which resonated with me in regards to looking at this in a sensible way, not necessarily emotionally or irrationally, and making certain that we amend the existing law that we have. So I thought that was really good that you reemphasized that throughout, using common sense and sensible.
Mike, what does common sense mean to you?
In this instance, I would say not a drastic change in gun control, not banning firearms completely, but just making small changes to appease both sides. That's sort of what I meant by it.
Well, since it's communist, Latin just means community standards, and whatever that means. It's an open-ended term, but within a context, it does mean something specific. Chelsea.
I thought your speech, sort of piggybacking off of the common sense discussion, was very logical and very level-headed. And I thought that you did a good job of taking a subject that your party probably wouldn't be in favor of, but finding a way to relate your stance in a relatable way.
Mike, what's your personal opinion related to this whole stuff?
I think that the gun control legislation that's proposed right now is not going to stop mass killings. That's the irony of it.
Yeah.
I think the only way that we can try to actually go after gun control is to completely get rid of handguns and give that a shot. But simply the small steps of the magazine clips, the semi-automatic, I think if people are as mentally unstable as some of those people have been, Colorado, the Newtown, they're going to find a way, like Timothy McVeigh, like Boston, without firearms to do it. But it's the street violence, I think, that if you go after handguns, fire, rifles, that would be a good step.
Haley.
Oh, I forgot you were my support team.
We just had this conversation with a candidate yesterday about in a year 31,000 people have died from guns.
Mhm.
And then I read an article that kid died from guns from other kids, and it wasn't even a handgun, it was a rifle. So how do you feel about handguns just banning now or banning everything, or?
I think it's worth a shot. I think why not?
How do you-
But as I said, I think the legislation right now, which is proposed to go after the mass shootings, is not going to
how
do
do you
anything.
reconcile banning handguns with the Second Amendment? Second Amendment right?
I thought I wasn't the senator anymore.
I'm asking
Speaking as Mike, yeah,
I am.
I say who cares. I think the Second Amendment was like the majority of the Constitution was written. All the Constitution was written so long ago that you can't foresee what will happen 300 years later. I don't think they had any idea that it would be read as strictly as it was today. That's my gut.
So you'd be open to amending the Constitution to strike out certain amendments that you don't want.
Right. Exactly.
All
For the
right.
common good.
Under
Like
Michael
T.
we
McCarthy.
trust.
That's why they're called amendments.
Mhm.
They're constitutional, not statutory, which
Mhm.
means that there's a harder process to go through.
Yeah.
All right, Rob.
All right, just to put Mike on the spot a little bit more. So, what if not necessarily the gun owners and disallowing them from owning handguns, and you also said rifles.
Yeah.
But what about the gun manufacturers? What about putting more restrictions and regulations on them in regards to how they actually proliferate the guns throughout the U.S.?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but sure, I think